Some work I've done with Miller over the last couple of weeks has been really to kind of stabilize his body more, and that basically to him was kind of keeping his head more still and making his transition a little more smoother. I think Miller has always wanted to hit a long way, and he does, but had a lot of control over his ball flight problems. And some of the things I think that can help you in your golf swing is to understand that the change of direction at the top is more of a gradual change, not the sudden burst of power. Anything that accelerates needs time to accelerate, and so by getting him to be a little more stable, making his transition at the top a little smoother, he's definitely started hitting with more control, ball flight control, and has lost little, if any, distance. Maybe he has actually gained some because the impact's so much better. So on the back, we've worked really hard on his backswing, getting the club much more on plane, and even though he does cross the line there right now, I'm not too upset about that. I mean, I think that's just something that he does, trying to get a little bit more extra into it. But as far as it going back to past parallel, not too concerned. What I was concerned with was a lot of this sudden change of direction. And so this change of direction brought the club kind of down a little steep at first. His right leg's already come up off the ground. Head has already started to go down and backwards. And so he had a lot of control, had a tough time controlling the impact as far as where the face was at impact. And so he hooks, pushes, lots of ball flight issues. Hit a long way, but didn't always know where he was going. So he had to use his hands a lot through impact, and you can see how much his head's gone down. Now, it wouldn't bother me if it went down, but it went down and didn't go backwards. And his goes down and goes backwards so much. Right foot's way up off the ground at that point. And what we've worked on here on the right is, again, the backswing's still pretty good, a little bit across the line, not a big issue. But I want you to notice a few things here that definitely changed that can help you in your golf swing. Is staying more in your posture on my back. You can see on my back his head's come much more above the line there. This top line, it's come much more above this top line here. And that creates a problem for him. He has to go back down. But I'm staying a little bit more level here. On the way down, he stays much taller out of his head. Club comes down on a much better path, not so much steep at the beginning. Right foot hasn't come up off the ground nearly as much on the right, and so his head stays much taller, and so his impact there is much better. The real significant change is that he stays there. In other words, Miller on the left kept on going down. This one kind of stayed up tall. So on the way through, instead of having to use his hands so much, you can see how the shaft is much more outside his hands here on the way through, instead of flipping out of his hands. Club X's his body a little bit higher here on the right. But again, the big change there is look how different his head has stayed steady. Here versus way down here. And to him, that actually feels a lot slower. But I had to show him that when he went out and played a few holes, how much that didn't change the flight of the golf ball in terms of how far it went. If anything, he's hit it further on occasion. And I think that helps him realize that he didn't have to go at it so abruptly. A little bit of more of a smoother transition, head staying more steady to support his golf swing. And I kind of explained to him, I said, look, bud, I said, if you support your golf swing more, you can use the club more correctly or more efficiently. If you have this sudden change of direction, your head drops down, you're changing too many things in your swing, it's hard for you to find the golf ball. So some of the things that can help you in your golf swing, I think, is more of a smooth transition. Now, that means staying in your posture not only on the way back, but also much more on the way down. Because you can see his rear end has moved pretty far away from that line here. And then over here, yeah, it's moved away, but not nearly as much. So actually, by keeping him in his posture, with his head being more steady, he's able to kind of stay more in his posture during his golf swing, which makes his swing much more efficient, makes his impact much more solid, and I think those are some of the things you can take away from what Miller's working on in his swing to help you with your golf game and keep you stay on plane.